am so happy to see you.
Same here.
Thank you so much for coming on today. So, let's start from the beginning. When we first met, tell me a little bit about, where you were at with your life.
Yeah, when we first started working together, I was a little lost. You know, it. I had graduated from college. I was a psych major, as you know. Um, Decided not to pursue graduate school at this point in my life, um, and knew I had interests, but didn't know what to do with them, and so I was feeling lost. And then we started working together, and you really helped me focus in on my interests, what I could do with them, how to pursue it. And we went from there. It was wonderful.
It was so great to find out what your interests were.
Mhm.
What were the things, Christy, in our talking together and kind of excavating your story you came up with? Like, what were the things you were realizing about yourself, like maybe from your childhood or, when we did the to-do list? What things were coming up for you?
So I knew I always loved to cook and bake, but it was always more of a hobby for me. And working together, I realized just how important it is in my life and that I could possibly pursue it. And so, yeah, I think doing the to-do list and creating the stories, those were so helpful. And yeah, thinking back to like my childhood when I really loved to cook and bake and create meals for people. Um, so yes, kind of putting that all together, creating these stories that were then useful in interviews and you know networking and moving forward. It's been great.
That's so cool. So tell me when because you had some great storied backgrounds of your whole like cooking, and thank God I was like the recipient of your lemon tarts. And so when you were telling your stories, tell me a little bit about what that looked like when you were interviewing at some of these like kitchen places and stuff. How did that resonate with people?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of back to a specific story. Um, I think we had two main ones. What both related around food. One more eating because I mean love to eat, and that was Monero's when I was younger. Just the whole atmosphere, the whole kitchen setting. And then the other, oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed to say I don't remember it right now. I think it was working at Peter Kelly's for a day, being invited into the kitchen when
Yeah.
I was around 13, 12 or 13, and just getting to spend the day with Chef Peter Kelly and seeing how kind of a kitchen worked around me, what was involved. It was so fabulous. It was like, it felt like I was in a movie, seeing it all working around me. Um, yeah, so I think that experience really stuck with me. Being in a kitchen, being around food. Yeah.
That's so cool. And when you told those stories too on the interviews,
Right.
how did that turn in terms of the conversation you were having with the people that were interviewing you for jobs?
Yeah. They're very, I mean, I think like, any person in the culinary field sharing those experiences, you kind of have a similar experience or like you get it and, spurs on more questions like, oh, how'd you like it? What do you want to do from here? Having that story ready was great. And it, I think, acted mostly as like a base to move forward from, like to get a conversation going and go from there. So
Oh, that's so great. So tell me what you've been doing in your life since we started working together. I've heard some great things. So tell me where you've taken your passion and what your pursuits have been since.
yeah. So I started out at Terrain Cafe in Westport. Um, I think the most wonderful first kitchen experience I could have ever asked for. It gave me the opportunity to learn, to practice my knife skills, to
Mm.
be in a like it's not fine dining, but it is elevated, I'd say. So to have that experience was amazing, and to work in a kitchen where we're doing brunch and lunch and dinner every day. Um, so we didn't have that time in the morning to prep for the day. It was you kind of always go go go. So sometimes we would do I think 300 covers for brunch and lunch. So to have that, like to kind of get through that with the team in the kitchen was such it was. oh gosh, what's the word? It was very rewarding, kind of getting through that. Yeah, but terrain was amazing. Worked there for a few months. Realized that line cook life is very difficult, um, both physically and time wise, and very again very grateful for the opportunity to have worked there. But I realized line cook life was not for me, and so I realized that, and the sous chef and the pastry chef there, they connected me with a fabulous bakery where I'm at now.
Oh my
So that's
God.
how that went. And it's
Yeah.
so funny. It's like a little anecdote or little side. The reason, not the reason, but one of the things, two things actually, the two big things I noticed working in the kitchen were I liked what the pastry chef was doing. I would
Yeah.
always like look back and see what she was doing and be a little taste tester. Um, and my happy place in the kitchen would be like rolling the bread in the back. And so again, the whole experience, very grateful for it. An amazing learning opportunity. Learned so much and made some great connections. But it was really being in that setting that helped me to realize what I wanted to go do. So I just needed to get in and then we work our way through.
Exactly. Well, Christy, your whole background was on about being a pastry chef and loving the baking. We talked about that early on.
Mhm.
What are you doing now in the bakery? Tell me
So
a
I'm at
little
a
bit about.
fabulous bakery called Flour, Water, Salt, Bread. It's in Darien, Connecticut. And the facility's in Stanford, like big facility. They're growing like crazy. And working with bread, it is like a whole new ball game for me. It is the craziest thing. You think you have it down one day, and then maybe the temperature's 1 degree different the next day, and the proof is a little different. And so you think you have it down, but you're always learning, and it's been wonderful.
So it's all just breads and things?
No, so a lot of it's bread, sourdough bread.
Oh,
Yeah,
fave.
but sourdough pastries, and we're always adding new items. So there's this wonderful creative aspect, which is something that I didn't that I felt like I was missing a little bit in the kitchen.
Sure.
But that creative aspect is here for sure. So we're always it's great. One day, I think we were taste testing pizza at like 7 a.m. So it's just like crazy stuff like that. Always working on just like test batches, which has been great for me in my own like life at home, baking wise, because now I really have a better sense of what it takes to create a recipe and work on it.
Oh, Christy, that's so great. Where do you want to take this career? So do you feel like you're now kind of in your dream career, if you will? And where do you want to go from here?
That's what I've been thinking about recently. I'm very happy where I am right now. I don't see this as a forever job because, as we've talked about, I want to have my own thing someday. But this, for now, is a wonderful place. The people are amazing. It's a great learning space. Um, so this is a good foundational place to learn to be around baking. Yeah.
So, Christy, tell me something. As we were working together and you had all these ideas, what what in the time that we were working together did you go, oh, wow, that doesn't need to be a hobby, or I can't really take this step forward? What made you decide to, start to really dip your toe in that water that you're in now?
I'd say it was a combination of three things for me. So it wasn't a specific moment, but three things. It was working on the stories that, you would ask me about my childhood, what I like to do. It was creating that base, I guess, of the interest. And then there was one specific time when you said, Christy, you're talking about baking and making a meal and your face is lighting up. And I was like, oh yeah, it's very joyful for me. So it was those two. And then it was when you connected me and told me a story about someone else, a family friend or someone who's in the culinary field and kind of their experience with it. And then you connected us. And I got to have a phone call with her. And so it was a combination of those three things, I think, that was really my push forward.
I love that. And what did before that then, where was your mind at? Did you not think that those things existed? Where was your mind before that?
Hmm. I knew they. I mean, I knew they existed, but it wasn't something I like envisioned myself doing for whatever reason. Truthfully, I'm not sure why. It always seemed maybe more like a dream and a hobby. Um, but yeah, but working with you, it kind of became reality, or not kind of became reality, became reality.
Wow, that's so great. And do you feel from here that your next step could be your own place? Like, are you learning those skill sets that is giving you the confidence to say, hey, I could do this too
Yeah,
sometime?
not yeah, yes. So yes, in the sense of continuing on with baking, but seeing how demanding and how I don't want to say time consuming, but it is for the owner
Oh,
of the
yeah.
bakery. I mean, he's there close to 24/7 and he has a family and you see how tough it is on him. So, I do want to build something for myself, but I also want to have that balance in life where I'm not, you know, it's a balance and we'll find it. So, if that
Absolutely.
means, not having a brick and mortar place and instead more catering, yeah, yeah, I think that would be a better balance for me moving forward in the future.
Yeah. But do you find that the food and the culinary and the bakery is really your path now?
Yeah, I think it's my path. I think it's one of a few because I'm always looking, and that's something that I appreciated about like our time working together. Where was you were always asking me about everything I wanted to do, and we would hone in on each one, but we always had the option of many different things. So it wasn't like I was stuck on one, which was great.
Yeah. Now you can do a lot of different things, but
Mhm.
it's so fun speaking to you now of where you were and where you are now, like so focused on your career and
Yeah, before we worked together, I mean, I never would have thought of like really jumping in and working in the culinary field. It always felt like something that, oh, I had to go to culinary school. Oh, is that like a feasible option to really make a career out of that? Um, but working with you, you connected me with some great people who I was able to talk to, and they pointed me in a little direction and went from there. So yeah, working with you has been amazing. Really opened up this opportunity.
oh, Christy, it truly fills my heart to see you today and to see you on this great journey that you're on. And honestly, I can't wait to come out and have
I
some
can't wait
salad.
to see you. I know. I can't wait to make brunch. I'll plan a meal for us.
You better. You
Yeah.
better. Absolutely. I love that you are on today. I love the path that you're on, and I wish you all the continued success that you deserve.
Thank you so much. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate you.
Me too. Take care.